Oops, I was muted there for a sec. Well, anyway, it looks like the stream is going now. This is my first time trying Restream. So this will be going live on my Twitter as well as on my YouTube channel, which I've used in the past to stream like other projects. Um, so the goal of today is really to actually build something. This idea that I've had for a bit, and it's essentially this. Thinking here is like, wouldn't it be cool if you could actually speak with an AI in real time? I've seen a bunch of super compelling demos, but I mean, they're kind of very specific in their use cases, and they're typically B2B type of use cases, like, speak to an airline agent or um, book a dentist appointment or something like that. But what I'd really like to do is create some sort of personal AI that you could chat with. And man, like the demos I've seen are mind blowing, right? I mean, I've seen demos where you can, I've seen these demos where like, the latency, or it's almost like you're talking to an actual human. And so that's really what I'm trying to figure out how to do is um, create some sort of product or solution where people can talk to like different characters and carry conversations like you would with an actual human being. And maybe the idea here is also like you could assign some sort of prompt, like modify the prompt itself. So you can have like personalities. I guess this is kind of going to be treading on like character AI type territory, right? Where people create their own characters and then you can type with them. But it's actually going to be character AI, but for voice. So you can have like a real-time conversation with them. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really have a design, but essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this process of coming up with the idea, coming up with like a rough sketch, making a quick design, and then actually building it. So this is essentially the whole point. Um, Before I get too far into this, I really just want to make sure that this is working okay. So if uh, if you can see this, maybe just reply, like write a comment or something. I don't know. Oh, it seems it's okay. I mean, I was actually just looking at the stream myself. I don't expect this to be like one of those streams where they're going to break Twitter or break YouTube, but but the whole point is just to kind of get used to this idea of um, working with the garage door open. Uh, to quote someone, I don't remember who his name is. All right, cool. So yeah, let's get to this. What are we gonna do? So essentially, this is gonna be talk to AI. Right? That's what we're trying to build. Talk to AI, and uh, doesn't look like the screen is getting updated for some reason. Well, that's unfortunate. Man, the lag is just horrible. The lag is crazy. Okay, now. Okay, now it's okay. Now it's okay. Cool. So, talk to AI. Essentially, the sort of problem space is you want to be able to have a conversation with an AI. I'm not sure that's even a problem space. Like, if I was to define a problem space, I would probably be talking about like more specific things. Um, Maybe something that people would be searching for on Google, or maybe some sort of post on Reddit. But I don't know that this is, there's a clearly defined problem space. I don't even know that, what the possible applications might look like. This is, primarily driven like by my own curiosity for what a solution like this would look like. And I had a bunch of ideas. So if you look at, where is it? Uh, Here. So I actually have a long list of ideas. Um, and I've been working through like a bunch of these, but yeah, I mean, a couple of these ideas actually involve talking to AI, and so yeah, that's essentially what I'm thinking is like it would probably be um, maybe not a standalone tool, but something helpful for another idea that I'd end up working on. And I don't think it's going to take that long. So really, I'm sort of, trying to get this built as quick as possible and then just release it. And maybe there would be like some generic use case. So I'll try to make this as generic as possible, which is the opposite of what you would normally want to do. But that's okay. Just make it generic, get it up, and then and worry about like, creating more products from that downstream. So anyway, I'm not going to do like typical problem statement like I've done before. Say in the bookmarks idea that I recently released, you'll see all of those videos up on YouTube, and there's a whole playlist. And I actually go through this process of mapping out like how you can flesh out an idea into a problem, what the solution might look like. But this is going to be like a more streamlined version of that. Cool. So let's see. Uh, so the way I'm kind of imagining this is like you would be able to specify a prompt and then click some sort of button, like talk. And that's supposed to be a mouse. So you click talk, and then you get into a back and forth conversation with, say, GPT-4, or maybe GPT-4 is like too slow. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work with like GPT-4, but um, so GPT-4, with the prompt that you used, and then you can have like a back and forth conversation. And the conversation is going to be most similar to a phone call, so real time. It would really be like a phone call, like having a phone call with an AI. And I think the real time part is what's going to make set this apart from sort of everything else. Like ChatGPT, the app itself, you can have a conversation, but really it's like talk, and then you're recording, and then you wait, you get an answer, and then you wait, and then you can talk some more. But it's turn by turn. This will be real time, so literally a conversation. Uh, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it in terms of like what the actual UI might look like. It would probably be maybe you'll have like some presets, so you could have like a scrolling list. Yeah, this could be like a therapist and a picture, whatever. And then you could have what else? Software architect, maybe. What else? Therapist, software architect, uh, copywriting pro. Not very clear, is it? It's actually, I'd be surprised if anybody could see anything. Yeah, so I don't know what else you might actually include. So a therapist, who would you want to have a conversation with? Like an AI, a therapist, uh, someone that does copywriting, and then a software architect. Uh, I saw this pretty cool demo of YC interview. It's not up anymore. It's by this platform called Vocode, and they did like a YC interview.ai or something like that, and then you can have like a mock YC interview with one of the partners at YC. That was super interesting. Uh, I don't know that I would make that like a preset. Uh, maybe. Oh, maybe like a job interview, right? Job interview. That's a good idea. And then you can have like a custom one, right? So you can have custom, and then when you click custom, you're asked for the prompt, and then, just like some big call button, a big call button. And then when you hit the call button, you can start the conversation. So the screen after that is probably going to look like, the waveform thing and maybe a transcript. So you can have transcript underneath. So this could be like, you, blah, 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 and then like AI, blah, 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 blah. And then obviously like an end call button, hang up, right? Something like that. Cool. I think that's pretty much it. It's super simple, so it's gonna be one of the simpler projects that I've worked on. Maybe it'd be fun if we could actually charge for it, because obviously this is gonna cost something. It's not gonna be negligible either, assuming it picks up. So, probably a good idea to charge. So maybe we need to think a little bit more about like what the usage limits are going to be if we're going to do it free. And if it's not going to be free, um, you're going to have to record some sort of demo and include it on the site just so that people can see like what's actually going on. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe we could defer it. I'm sure like pricing is probably going to be by duration. Duration would probably make more sense since this is a phone call. So pricing, duration based, and then maybe this could be like, I don't know, like depending on what your cost structure is going to look like, maybe it's like 50 cents a minute or something like that, right? 50 cents a minute. And maybe you just buy credits. So that way it's easier to, yeah. And you can do this using credits. Mm, yeah, that could work. That could work. And then maybe you could get free credits. So everybody can start off with like a 20-second or 30-second call. Uh, Although that would complicate things. So, um, I would probably not do that. I mean, like complicate things from a development standpoint. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to do that. I guess we'll figure it out later. Whether is there going to be a free plan, like a free trial? Yes or no? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there will be. Maybe there won't. Anywho's. All right. So it seems like we've got a rough idea for what this is going to look like. Next step. There are a couple ways you can do this. Typically, it would be like, okay, figuring out copywriting, what the messaging is going to look like, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what I'm going to be doing this time. Instead, I'm going to jump right into actually building and testing an MVP, like a small version of this that actually works. Because yeah, honestly, I've seen like a bunch of demos and I don't even know like how good it's going to be. So if it's going to be crap, you probably want to figure that out up front instead of later on, after you spent like hours working on the landing page and everything else and then realize, oh, you know what, it's actually pretty bad and you're probably better off just using ChatGPT with, turn by turn conversations. So I'm going to switch from this to, um, let's see, switch to full screen here. Yeah, so forget character AI. I actually asked this question yesterday and I had Ali, yeah, Ali kind of sent me like a couple of examples which I wanted to check out. I think these are really good. And then someone mentioned vocode. Yeah, vocode. Um, yeah, so this, let's see. Yeah, this uses vocode. Okay, yeah. So the original one actually uses vocode. Um, there's the gist. This is the interview thing I was telling you about, right? The interview thing. Uh, Very interesting. But this is super old. Like this is over a year old, so I don't even know. No, it's less than a year old, but it's like forever in the AI world, right? Um, I tried checking out the link, but it's not up there anymore. So I see interview.ai doesn't work. Cool. So vocode, that's one option is using vocode. Definitely something that I want to try out, assuming latency is going to be manageable. The other one was retail. I saw Peter Levels mention this, and I was actually just messing around with this just before the stream. And it's kind of similar. So, you actually set up a call and you can edit the prompt that you provide to the person speaking, and then, you'd be able to have a conversation with like a therapist or what was the other one they had? Yeah, therapist and then dental front desk, right? Dental front desk and a therapist. You can do trial calls with them, and you have like 10-minute trial calls. But obviously, Retail AI is a developer solution, so these are just test cases. They're not selling to consumers, and so you can't, as a consumer, actually use something like this. But I did a test call, and it was actually super good. So I want to see how we can make this work. So it might actually be a quick setup process. It shouldn't take too long to get to a point where we know if this is actually something we can do or not. Um, it seems like it's going to be a walk in the park. Like I don't think this is going to be difficult at all. So we'll need to pull up the docs and all right. What was the other one? I actually saw one more before we get too deep into this. Uh, so there was another one that Elise sent me. Oh, this one. So DeepGram and Grok, and this one. I don't know if you can hear this. You probably can't. Let me see if I can add audio capture. All right, so that should work now.
Hey, what's going on? My name's Greg.
Hello, Greg. Just here to help. What's up?
Yes, can you tell me a story about dinosaurs in less than 10 words?
Dinosaurs ruled, then died. Mystery.
Words.
Okay,
Yes.
check this
Hey,
out.
what's
I
going on?
had
My
it
name's
at full
Greg.
speed initially, but
Hello, Greg. Just here to help. What's up?
Yes, can you tell me a story about dinosaurs in less than 10 words?
Dinosaurs ruled, then died. Mystery
it's
remains.
a bit
Oh, that's
slow.
awesome.
Like
And what?
there's a bit more lag than I would have liked. I don't know. It doesn't show the exact time. 190 milliseconds. I'm sure it was way more than 190. But
What's
but
my
yeah,
name
it's pretty
again?
good, decent.
My apologies. You said your name is Greg.
Awesome. Thank you. Goodbye.
Cool. So this is an alternative to using retail AI is just setting up something with DeepGram for speech to text and then Grok for the LLM. Uh, the kind of flow I imagine this would follow is like, first you need to um, do transcription. So there'd be like a transcription step. So that's converting the spoken audio into text. And then number two, you're going to do the LLM stuff for an answer. And then number three is the text to speech, right? So it's processing the answer in spoken audio. So transcription, I guess most people would typically use like Whisper there's one called Faster Whisper, which I've seen thrown around in a few places. Obviously, faster is better. Uh, and then LLM for answering, this is probably going to be Gronk, just because it's so fast. And then for TTS, again, yeah, he's using DeepGram here, but you could probably use DeepGram. There's 11 labs, and then there's play.ht, whatever. Like there's a bunch of, I think even OpenAI does TTS now, the text to speech. So that's not going to be difficult at all. What you, again, the problem is like each one of these has a bit of latency. And so if you're not careful, they're just going to add up. Um, what you want to do instead is optimize it somehow by uh, doing stuff in parallel wherever possible. Uh, oh, what's this? Life kit. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Life kit. Try this now.
Hey everyone. So as a part of LiveKit's agents release, we're putting out some example apps that are using the framework. So this one's called Kit.
Let's try now.
Hello, I am Kit, a friendly voice assistant powered by LiveKit agents. You can find my source code in the top right of this screen if you're curious how I work. Feel free to ask me anything. I'm here to
Hey,
help. Just
hey
start
kid,
talking
how's
or
it going?
type in the chat.
Hey kid, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, how can I assist you today?
Not bad at all. That was actually pretty quick.
Glad to hear that. I aim to respond as quickly as I can. Is there something specific you need help with right now?
What can you not do?
There are quite a few things I can't do. I'm
This is
not able
pretty
to
good.
perform physical
This is pretty
tasks,
good.
make transactions, or
The
provide
the
personal
other parts of
advice,
this is
among other
also
limitations. Is
there's
there
the source code. The other parts of this is also like interruptions and managing interruptions. Obviously, Kit doesn't do any of that, but the beauty of retail is that it actually does. So it allows you to manage interruptions, and yeah, I think that's probably going to be something we need to think about just to make the thing usable. So cool. Looks like we have a bunch of options. Life Kit. I just want to look at their docs. Where are the docs? Get the code. Ah, cool. Okay. Oh, this is exactly what I was talking about. Speech to text and then text to speech. Right. Okay. That's it. Just a couple hundred lines of code. That's impressive. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, so we'll actually dig into Kit as an option. So I'm going to put that down. Retail, obviously. I'm going to look at their docs. There's yeah, documentation. Oh, here it is. Okay, create an agent. Okay. Oh, and Greg put out his code as well. Cool. And also a couple hundred lines of code. That's impressive. What's he using for It's not clear what he's using for speech to text.
Speak. Okay.
Probably whisper, right? No, I don't see any mention of whisper. Oh. Mixtral. Oh, yeah, okay. So in this case, like,
Hey, what's going on? My name is Greg.
no, he is doing transcription, right? Okay. Speech to text using DeepGram. Okay. I didn't know they did speech to text. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know you could do that on DeepGram. I thought DeepGram was just text to speech. No, of course they do speech to text. Ah, okay. Um, I mean, I'm confessing here. I've never actually used DeepGram. I'd heard a lot about them, never actually used them. Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, so DeepGram, and then you just have an LLM kind of sandwiched in the middle. Text to speech for voice AI agents. DeepGram Aura. Okay. Cool. Yeah, DeepGram. All right, so a couple of compelling options. We actually have three compelling options. The first is to use this kit thing, and we have the code for that. We also have retail AI, and we've got Greg's example here, which uses DeepGram as well as Grok, and vocode. Vocode as well, but vocode, I think, uh, looks like this stream is a bit laggy. Let me just go to my profile. I'll just post the link to YouTube. All right. Cool. Okay, so we'll start with retail, since that's kind of the obvious one. Let's see how it works. Cool. So you got your server, and then where'd step one go? So you have step two, our server establishes WebSocket connection. Your server sends first message. Okay. And then okay. So your server kind of relays LLM responses to retail. Okay, so there's step one, users called. Step two, server establishes WebSocket your server sends first message. And then where's step 4? User spoke, my name is Mike. Okay. Step 5. Okay, so it gets transcribed and sent to your server. So the transcriptions, Retail transcribes the message, sends it back to you, and then you send the response from the LLM to Retail, and your LLM responds, hi Mike. Retail model decides AI shouldn't speak. Where's step 7? User continued and spoke, my name is Mike Trump. And then that's step 7, where's step 8? Your LLM responds, hello, Mr. Trump. Okay, so it seems like the sentence was not complete the first time around, so it didn't speak. It was waiting for the rest of the sentence. Okay. So step 9, your LLM says, hello, Mr. Trump, and then Retail decides it should speak, and that's when you get the AI speaks, and there's an already established AI WebSocket. I'm not sure the stream is working. It looks like it's struggling to keep it together. I'm not sure the stream is working. It looks like it's struggling to keep it together. All right, whatever. Anyway, cool. So it kind of makes sense. So transcription is done by Retail. We don't have to worry about that. It also takes care of the text-to-speech, and you just need to maintain an audio WebSocket. And I have no idea how that works, but I'm sure we can figure it out. And the LLM stuff. Cool. Okay. All right. Yeah, it makes sense. I'll keep this open because we probably need to get back to it. Docs. So first off, I'm just going to be using Retail here and see if we can figure out how to get this working using Retail. And if it works properly, great, fantastic. We don't have to worry about any other solution. If it doesn't, then we'll consider alternatives as well. But from the demo, like Retail actually works super well. I don't know if I actually showed you a demo. That's probably a better place to start, is just actually show you a demo of Retail. Oh, I only have two minutes left. Let's go. Let's do a quick demo.
Hi, this is South Bay Dental Office. How may I help you? Are you a new patient or an existing
Can you tell
patient?
me more about South Bay?
South Bay Dental Office is open next Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We accept Delta Dental and Anthem insurance plans.
What
How
sort of
can I
stuff do
assist?
you do?
We offer a wide range of dental services, including cleanings, fillings, root canals, extractions,
All right, I
and
have an
cosmetic.
emergency. My bottom jaw just fell off. Can you fix it?
Oh, that sounds like a serious situation. It's important to seek immediate medical attention for a dental emergency like this. I can help you
Notice how the voice was fantastic. Like there was practically zero delay. It really did feel like a natural conversation. And there was actually emotion when I told her like my jaw fell off. So that's impressive. Like this was really good. I'm telling you, like I had a 10-minute trial, used up 8 minutes, and I didn't even realize it. Time just flies. This is so crazy. Ah, all right, cool. Great. Yeah. So let's do this. let's get started. Itching to get started. Let's see. All right, don't need that anymore. So let's go ahead and set. So let's see. Is this a Python thing? And just full disclaimer, kind of getting into this, like my Python is super rusty, so I'm going to be relying a lot on ChatGPT and friends to get this going. Oh, they do support Node. Nice. They have a demo repo too. Fantastic. Code to use Twilio to get numbers, set up inbound, make phone calls. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not going to be using we're not going to be using Twilio, obviously. We're not going to be using okay. I mean, I really don't understand why they would use Twilio for this. I guess they were trying to reduce the complexity as much as possible, but I don't know how many people would actually use Twilio. Yeah, it's probably the primary use case, come to think of it. You don't want to do it in web, you're probably going to do it over Twilio, so yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, so we need to figure out like how to actually collect an audio stream from a client and then pass it to the server, and then like get the response back and then pass it through a speaker on the client. So that bit is going to be a bit that's on us to figure out. Anyway, so let me just go ahead and clone this. Let's just call this talk to AI. All right, let's install dependencies. Azure OpenAI. All right. All right. What are they using Azure OpenAI for? All right. What are they using Azure OpenAI for? Okay. Only used for web front end to register call, so the front end doesn't need API key. So you would register the call and then return call detail. I don't know what that is. I assume it has like some details about like which socket to connect to. And then handle retail web LLM WebSocket. Okay, all right. So you're going to get a WebSocket from the LLM, and okay. I mean, this code looks familiar. This is essentially stuff that you would typically intercept on the front end, and then you would, just display it inside some sort of text box or whatever. But in this case, we're going to be passing the WebSocket on to retail. Okay. LLM client draft response. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. We're actually receiving messages from retail, and the idea is that you would then call your LLM client to process the response. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. So it's essentially this bit over here. You're getting the transcript, and then your LLM needs to respond. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Love to be able to just run this and test it out, but it looks like they're using a bunch of stuff here. Azure? What are you using Azure for? That that doesn't make sense. Why are you using Azure? Oh, for voice? Hmm. Azure? Text to speech? Okay, all right. So they don't do standalone speech recognition or text to speech. So you need to have your own access to some sort of API for doing. Oh man. So like what the hell are you doing, right? What is retail doing? It's three pieces, right? It's speech to text, LLM, and then text to speech. It doesn't do speech to text, it doesn't do text to speech, and it doesn't do LLM. So what does it actually do? I assume it's doing like the interruption handling, that sort of thing. And maybe it just asks for your API keys so that it can connect directly to, the whatever the speech to text and text to speech services are. So it's kind of like an abstraction over that. I'm guessing that's what this is. Let's see a demo.
I'll show you guys how to use our open source projects. You can quickly kickstart it to get a voice box working in your local environments. Let's get started. So our first step is to create a backend to provide a LM answer to our server. So first, let's clone the code.
Oh, I love that they have a billing problem at the top, but kind of keeping it real.
Run npm install. And here you need to fill into your Azure OpenAI key and also retail API key. You can find the retail API key here in the dashboards. And right now we only support Azure OpenAI key, our demo, but you can easily modify this file to use OpenAI API. Let me fill the key in the other screen. Cool. So given that I've already filled the key, I just need to run the code. Great. So right now we have a localhost WebSocket running, and right now the next step will be how to have a production URL that will forward the request to the localhost. So for that, we'll use ngrok. You can follow the instruction here to install on your system. And we are just going to use this command to create a URL. You can find the URL in the endpoints section. Click copy. Tailor this URL to WebSockets. And go back to our dashboard to create a new agent. And at this point, you should just work. Let's make a call.
Hey there, I'm your personal AI therapist. How can I help you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm here to support you. What's on your mind today?
Great. So we have the backend working, and the next step will just be like a set up a front end. So pretty similar. Let's go clone the front end React code base. npm install. And in the demo, we need to fill into your API key and agent ID. So for agent ID, you can find right here. And then let me grab the API key here. Simply, we can run npm start.
Hey there, I'm your personal AI therapist. How can I help you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm here to support you. What's on your mind today?
Cool. That's it. You have a working backend and front end. So you just need to deploy your backend and also integrate the code into your front end. Thanks, everyone.
Cool. All right, so that's 4 minutes. What about the rest of the 4 minutes?
Run npm install. And here,
Oh, it looks like it's just on repeat.
run npm install. And here, you need to fill into your Azure OpenAI key and also retail API key.
Okay. Actually didn't notice in the dashboard that they have a place for you to set your own WebSocket. Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. So a couple things we'll need. We're not going to need the OpenAI organization ID, I don't think. Let's see. Is this used anywhere? Okay. Yeah. So we're only going to be using the OpenAI API key. And which model is it using? Does it say? I seem to. Oh, okay. 3.5 turbo. Cool. All right. Seems like integrating your own LLM is actually optional. You can update the prompt directly from the dashboard, and then you wouldn't need to integrate your own LLM. Interesting. Huh. Convention hall, mountain door. Okay, interesting. Ooh, back channel. Oh, interesting. Okay. Very cool. So maybe that's enough. Like all you need to do is connect the front end and then, connect to the to the agent ID that you've already specified. You don't actually need to. I'm not going to be creating like custom LLM prompts, or I am, but okay. So if we come back to like the notes that we shared earlier, so it seems like if you just want to do like uh, this part over here, if you just want to do this part, is it even working? It doesn't look like it's updating. Uh, yeah, it's not sharing the screen anymore. Anyway, so you can do everything except the custom prompt. So what are you doing then? Just the front end? I guess we could just yeah. It seems like for the purposes of testing, we can actually just set up custom prompts here for each of the different personalities or characters we like, test them out, and kind of make sure that they work properly, and then like that's it. I don't think we need to do anything else. Let's see what pricing looks like. I thought it was going to be like way more complicated. I'm sure like retail is doing a bunch of stuff in the background, but this does make it like super simple to get up and running. You don't have to do anything really. You don't have to do anything. You just add a bunch of API keys. So you use Azure for speech to text and then text to speech. What's the pricing again? Uh, 12 cents a minute. Oh, cool. All right. So if you're going to charge like 50 cents a minute, it's fine. You can make it work. Although 12 cents a minute is just the retail stuff, I assume. Cool. This is awesome. And then maybe once you get to like proper scale, then at that point you can kind of figure out, okay, how am I gonna make this work? For now though, yeah, 12 cents a minute is totally fine. All right, so let's get the front end. Where's the code? Come on, retail. Front end React JS demo. Yep, that's the one. Retail in your LLM API key to .env.development. Optionally add Twilio credentials. You don't need those. Azure OpenAI is pretty fast and stable. Oh, okay. So that's what the Azure key was for. OpenAI? Hmm. So that's if you want to use Azure OpenAI instead of like the official OpenAI API. Use that in the dashboard to create a new agent. Now the agent should be connected. Wait, this is the back end. Why am I looking at the back end? Yeah, front end, way easier, right? Oh, it's never a good sign when you see a bunch of this stuff. It means that the dependencies are out of date. Okay. Retail web client. Hmm. I don't remember if he actually used the WebSocket URL inside the front end. Docs. Just take another look.
Forwards the request to the local host. So for that, we'll use ngrok. You can follow the instruction here to install on your system. And we are just going to use these commands to create a URL. You can find the URL in the endpoint section. Click copy. Tailor this URL to WebSockets. And go back to our dashboard to create a new agent. And at this point, you should just work. Let's make a call.
Hey there, I'm your personal AI therapist. How can I help you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm here to support you. What's on your mind today?
Great. So we have the backend working and the next.
Okay, so you need the WebSocket URL for connecting the front end to the back end. So if you're creating a custom backend, then you would specify the URL. If not, then you would just use the backend that
Next step will be like a set up a front end. So pretty similar. Let's go and clone the front end React code base. npm install. And in the demo, we need to fill into your API key and agent ID. So for agent ID, you can find right here. And let me grab the API key here. Simply, we can run npm starts.
Strangely, it doesn't seem to require the API key on the front end anymore. That's weird. Is that because it's built in? Like, is that my API key? Hmm. Doesn't say anything about an API key. Weird. Anyway, I'll run this. Okay. All right, so you can see here it doesn't support WebSockets under the URL. So clearly that's not what I'm supposed to paste in here. So what am I supposed to include? Okay. I imagine it's like um, all right. I mean, if we're using their LLM, then theoretically, like the front end, where is the front end? It's this part over here, right? Yeah, please. They talk directly to retail, so you should have some sort of retail API that you can communicate with, right? Yeah, it seems like you can't use their backend. Like you would still need to, even if you're going to use like their custom LLM URL, um, you'd still need to have an actual backend to trigger this stuff here. Like in the backend code, you can't just paste register call on your server. All right, so let's do that. So it seems like I don't think you'd be able to use. Maybe you could use localhost since it's going to be running here anyway, right? Right. So let's open up the backend. All right. So register call. That's going to be this over here. Register call on your server. Isn't Twilio anywhere here? No. So let's just drop that. Twilio. Nope. All right, and then demo LLM client. Yeah, so if we're going to be using an OpenAI API key, we wouldn't need to, we wouldn't need to provide any of the other details. Besides, I assume the retail API key, is that referenced anywhere? I guess it is. And the ngrok IP address, that's for Twilio. So you don't need that, right? So it's just retail API key and OpenAI API key. These are really the only ones that we need. So I'll go ahead and create a .env here. Why is it taking so long? And the stream is really killing my computer. Just adding a file takes. There we go. All right. Cool. So I'll go ahead and edit these off screen, just so not everybody's looking at my API keys. Just give me a sec. All right, so that's my retail API key, and then my OpenAI API key. All right, so that's done. And then what else we got? I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else that we need to do. So at this point, we can go ahead and run. What was this? Dev, right? Okay, so we'll run the back end. Let's run the front end as well. What's the URL? 8080. Okay, cool. So I don't need the back end anymore. This will be 8080. Yep. Yeah, I think this is ready to go. Again, like, I don't even know, is this gonna work? Okay, register call. Let's take a look. Internal server error. Authorization header required. Okay. What's the problem? Okay, so the backend is missing something, probably the API key. Let me check. No, I do have the API key. Huh. What am I supposed to do with this URL? Oh, okay. This is for OpenAI. So I assume because you provided the agent ID, it already knows, but the backend doesn't know the agent ID, does it? Well, the front end does. Right. You have it right here. Right, okay. So the front end is not supposed to provide the agent ID. Typically, that'd be something the backend takes care of. Right, okay. You're passing in the agent ID in the fetch request, and the server is giving you back an unauthorized header, meaning, where's that happening? Register call on your server. It's not actually passing in the API key, so I assume retail client. Where is retail client defined? Here. Okay. Are we actually getting the API key populated? So maybe we can add a log point. Or just stop there. All right, that's running. Let's do a refresh. Oh, the API key is empty. Interesting. Why? Do I have to put it inside SRC? Is there node n no daemon? There's no daemon load n. Oh, okay. They didn't have .env installed. Oh, it is there, actually. So you just need to do nodemin-r dot config. All right, let's try again. All right, so this time the API key actually is populated. Let's see what happens. Why does it fetch? Well, why does it fail immediately? Huh, weird. Oh, cool. All right, looks like it's working now.
Hi, this is South Bay Dental Office. How may I help you? Are you a new patient or an existing patient?
Hey, I'm brand new.
Great. I'm glad you called. Could I please have your phone number and name so we can get
Check
you
it
set up
out.
for...
All right, it's working. It's actually working. This is crazy.
It sounds like there might be some noise or static in your speech. Could Could you please provide me with your
All right, there we go. Beautiful. Cool. This is actually working. Fantastic. So I think for the purposes of our demo, all we really need to do is set up multiple prompts. So we'll set up like one for each person, and then for each character that we're trying to work on, and then just update the front end, obviously a little bit to make it nicer, and then set up billing as well, just so that it all works. But I'm very happy that we were actually able to get to a point where we have a working sort of localhost demo in such a short period of time, so just under an hour. Uh, cool, awesome. I'm gonna take a break and then I'll continue with this series. Again, I'm gonna have a playlist on YouTube that you can check out. So if you wanna check out the YouTube, I posted a link just under this tweet, and you can subscribe there or whatever. I don't care. Anyway, the whole point of this exercise is really just to get to the point where we have a working demo. So I'm very happy that we got to this point. And yeah, I'll just continue sort of recording videos behind the scenes. And if you want to check that out, check out my YouTube channel. See you guys in the next one.